So yesterday, April 21st, 2026, during a Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee hearing on U.S. counter-terrorism strategy in Africa, Senator Ted Cruz reiterated claims that Nigeria has one of the world's highest rates of faith-based killings of Christians. He's citing advocacy figures of roughly 50 to 52,000 Christian deaths since 2009, which is linked to Islamic groups like Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani militants. Senator Ted Cruz referenced recent Holy Week, Palm Sunday, and Easter attacks in 2006 this year that killed over 150 people. Many of them are Christians in central Nigeria's Middle Belt. We know already Plateau, Benue, Kaduna, and Nasarawa states.
More Christians are killed for their faith in Nigeria than anywhere else in the world. Since 2009, Islamic jihadists have murdered more than 50,000 Christians in Nigeria, and more than 20,000 churches, schools, and religious institutions have been destroyed, most burned to the ground. Scores of Christians and several others were kidnapped over Holy Week. Nigerian officials have been, unfortunately, complicit in facilitating these atrocities. At the state level, a dozen Nigerian states implement Islamist blasphemy and Sharia laws. At the federal level, the government looks the other way at Islamist violence. The result is, unsurprisingly, yet more jihadist violence. Last year, I introduced the Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act, which would require placing Nigeria back on the country of particular concern list and impose sanctions on officials involved in enforcing blasphemy and Sharia laws. The U.S. government knows who they are at both the local level and the federal level, and they should be held accountable. I'm sorry to say that Nigerian officials are, at a minimum, in denial of the government's role. In October, several officials, including the Deputy Speaker of the Nigerian House and the Chairman of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, and a range of anonymous officials linked to the President, directly attacked me for saying that, quote, officials in Nigeria are ignoring or even facilitating the mass murder of Christians by Islamic jihadists. Last year, I met with a delegation of top Nigerian defense and security officials. They said they were committed to ending the violence. I told them I would judge their commitment by the results. Those results have yet to materialize. President Trump has established that the United States will use all tools of statecraft to counter the violence. He ordered that Nigeria be added to the CPC list, and in December he ordered the Department of War to target ISIS terrorists in response to their massacre of Christians. I'll note that the Nigerian government said at the time that it welcomed and indeed requested the actions. I find their statements to be somewhere between hypocritical and infuriating. In December, the president said that jihadists have been targeting Christians in Nigeria, quote, at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. What does the situation look like now, several months later, and what can and should the United States do to stop the mass murder of Christians?
We know that Senator Ted Cruz has long pushed the Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025, which seeks to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, which Donald Trump has already implemented, impose targeted sanctions on specific Nigerian officials accused of facilitating or tolerating Islamic violence against Christians and religious minorities, which today U.S. has already done. If you are among the list, if you are a Nigerian politicians, you appear in the list of those U.S. government believe that are facilitating or tolerating or sponsoring Islamic violence against Christians, your access in U.S., if you have been frozen. You won't be able to enter the U.S. again. You have been banned. And one of the bill Senator Ted Cruz is pushing is to hold a bill that will hold those accountable who create an environment of impunity. So, does this help in the security challenges we're having in the country? Because Nigerian government sent some delegates to US to show them. In fact, they hired the lobbyist. It was on the dailies, national newspapers. Nigerian government hired a lobbyist to please the US government that they have gotten the acts right. The insecurity issue in the country has been handled, managed, but it's getting worse day by day. There is no sign that this government of APC, that this government of Tinubu will tackle insecurity the way they should, and even bring a lasting solution to it. So for me, I feel community policing is what will help deal ruthlessly with the terrorists, and majorly they're not. Community vigilante, empower them. Community policing, because if we wait till the soldiers will always arrive at the scene when these terrorists have carried out their mayhem and they have left, that's when soldiers will come and declare curfew and all of that, while these terrorists are already cooling off in their enclave. So community policing is what I suggest. Empower these vigilantes in villages. The villagers, the hunters know their forests, know everywhere. So if you empower these people, they will be able to control their forest. They will be able to, safeguard their forest. They need training as well. So it's not just saying you are going to deploy 30 soldiers, after 1 month they will leave, and then these terrorists will return again. So Nigeria should try community policing. Let all the state governors empower the vigilantes, the hunters. Let them start protecting their forests. Let them start protecting their villages and communities. That is what I believe will help. Because if you are not from my community, I will know. If you are not from my rural community, I will know. So when you are a stranger, you come to my community, you are moving around, we'll be able to detect you. So when you come to launch an attack, we'll know where you are coming from. And this is why I still believe that the Northerners are the one complicit to these terrorists. They know them. They are their brothers. They are shielding them, aiding them to commit these atrocities. So when they carry out all these bomb blasts and killings, they start crying, "Oh, come and help us." You are the one to help yourself. You know these guys. You know them. They speak your language. They even do prayer with you. You're supposed to give credible information to the Nigerian soldiers, police, and all that. But they are keeping quiet. Because of their complicity, we've lost hundreds of soldiers, hundreds of policemen. So what do you expect the government to do when you fail in your own path by reporting these people? We will continue to complain and condemn for this is almost 15 years of Boko Haram influence in Nigeria. Nothing tangible has been done yet. Is that not disgraceful?